later knowing that all was now completed. And so that the scripture would be fulfilled, Jesus said, I'm thirsty. I want to speak really quickly from the subject. He understands your thirst. And Jesus said, I'm thirsty. Let's see how we've gotten to this point. Jesus was first betrayed by his friends. He was taken to a court and he was tried in an unjust court. He was beaten, but he wasn't just beaten. He was savagely beaten because the Roman soldiers would take a little rod like the size of this microphone, Pastor, and they would put leather straps on it. And at the end of those straps were either lead or bones. And so they whipped him, and it cut his flesh and bruised him all at the same time. And while I was studying, I read that he had about 120 of these lashes and bruises on his body. So he's betrayed. He's savagely beaten. And he's in pain because it hurts. And then he has to carry a cross. Cross weighs about 100 pounds and it's wood. So he's got a 100-pound wood cross on his back. And it's eating into the wounds that he has, and it's got to hurt. And he has to carry this cross somewhere between 1 mile to 3 miles. When he gets to the hill, they lay the cross down. And they take spikes. It says nails, but they were more like spikes. And they drove them through his hands and through his feet. And then they took the cross and jammed it in the ground. And his body had to shake. And it's painful. And it hurts. And he's suffering. They take a crown of thorns and jam it on his head. So now he's bleeding about the head, and it hurts and it's painful. And with all of the betrayal, with all of the pain, the only time Jesus speaks of his human suffering is simply to say, I'm thirsty. Oh, he probably needed water because he's tired. He's tired because he spent the night before praying in the garden. The scripture says he prayed till blood ran down his face like drops of sweat. So he's tired. And all he says is, I'm thirsty. Oh, he needed water because he was thirsty, because he's dehydrated. His tongue has begun to swell in his mouth, and the weight of his body is causing him to suffocate. He's thirsty and he needs water. But with all of that, with being thirsty, with needing water, there was a more important thirst. Because this is the first time in all of his existence that he's separated from the Father. This is Jesus. This is Jesus who's been with God from the beginning up until now. When God made the heavens and the earth, he was there. And now he finds himself separated from God, and so his soul is thirsty. I thought about that. I thought about us, and we all seem to be thirsting for something. There are things in all of our lives that we think nobody understands and nobody cares about. But here Jesus on the cross saying, I'm thirsty. He understands your thirst. He understands your suffering. Jesus understands, and Jesus cares. There's a woman in the Bible, and she wasn't a very nice woman. She had a bad reputation, and she had to go to the well. She had to go to the well, Pastor, to get water. She didn't like going to the well because when she went to the well, people would talk about her. But one day, she met Jesus. And Jesus told her, if you drink of this water, you'll thirst again. But if you drink of this water that I have, you will never thirst. See Jesus. He understands your thirst. He understands your needs. And he said in the book, he says, he that hungers and thirsts after righteousness shall be filled. I gotta go because my time is up. But whatever it is that you're thirsting after, Jesus understands. Jesus cares. And you can tell Jesus all about your troubles.